Hello, good evening. Your shepherd is here, joined by Jonesy, the one and only. This is the Week 11 Lineup Advice Show. Week 11, we will get to all of the questions that come in, all the what should we do? Give me some advice. This player is questionable. But before we get into all this, how are you this evening, Jonesy?
Good, good. Another week closer to the playoffs. So just making that final push, just trying to, get those rosters settled. I mean, by now we should have your roster kind of settled, and anything you don't have needs to get taken care of. So,
yes.
But that's what we're here for. We're here to guide and hopefully get everyone into the playoffs.
Could you remember a time, whether it might have been, very recent, but I was thinking about when was the last time that you had somebody that, got catastrophically injured late in the season where all of a sudden now there was just the nobody, no name, however you want to label it, player to now go ahead, get off of waivers, and help win your league. I'm not sure, if I can really recall a specific, instance. I mean, I know they're out there, right? There were situations like that, but I'm not sure if there was. What I was trying to pinpoint was how late into the season, right? Was there anything happening that was right at the heels of the playoffs, or was it maybe the week 9s, the week 10s, just about this time of year? So I was just trying to rack my brain, see if there was anything that's going on, because to your point, rosters being settled. The only kind of real serious activity is okay, fine, we need to adjust tight ends here and there. We want to adjust the defenses here and there. We want to adjust the kickers here and there. But is there is Dante Foreman coming out of the woodworks right now? That's what I'm trying to kind of figure out for myself.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really comes to mind when you say a player late. I mean, I'm sure there has been, but this is the reason why, handcuffing, for example. It's why you handcuff. This year especially, we have not seen a lot of running back, major injuries. I would expect something to happen. I mean, it's been all the wide receivers. So it's almost like a handcuff the wide receiver year, which works in a sense, but it's not, a lot of times, handcuffing wide receiver isn't a plug and play, kind of like a running back in the correct system, So right now, I mean, the guys if I got an extra roster spot, the guys I'm holding and just kind of waiting to see. I mean, Gus Edwards, now that he's healthy, he needs to be owned in 100% of leagues because he's not only a handcuff, he's actually a part of the offense.
Yeah, he's getting work.
He needs to be owned.
Yeah.
Blake Corum.
That's a good one right there.
If I'm a CMC owner, I'm still holding Mason. I mean, I know Mason started out hot and kind of faded off. That's what you always see people talking about. Oh, you only scored 9-10 points a game. Yeah, but what's your other option if CMC goes down again? Are you going to be starting Tajay Spears or something? I would rather have Mason. So. It's all situational, but you need to be smart about your rosters also, No,
without question. Yes, the Jordan Mason one is very interesting because I mean, okay, fine. So we got the 1 game sample. CMC came back. CMC got the 20 touches, the 20 opportunities that he basically, his head coach said that he was going to get. Where does that? I mean, just because we saw what was relayed to us unfold, right? It came to fruition. There was no there was no screwing around with it, right? Like Shanahan said, boom, this was going to happen, and it happened. I mean, like, that doesn't, I wouldn't necessarily, like Jordan Mason, that doesn't mean that Jordan Mason gets kicked to the curb now and get thrown into the wild, because like there's still so much unknown uncertainty moving forward within like the rest of the schedule for the Niners. The Niners are thinking, well, A, the Niners aren't playing fantasy. B, the Niners are thinking about getting themselves into the playoffs and trying to make a run now with their with their Hall of Famer. He's most likely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Nevertheless, yeah.
I mean, but that's kind of the thing you got to think about. It's like, okay, would I rather go pick up a Marquez Valdez-Scantling that, I'm sorry, but if you're relying on him to be a starter, you're not in a good position because you're just chasing last week's points. You know, I would rather hold one of those high-end, you know, handcuffs, whether I own them back or not. You know, I was sitting in a league today that, you know, Corm's out there, Gus Edwards was out there. I mean, every high-end, you know, backup was available, but I had to make a choice, and I chose Gus Edwards. You know, so, but he's you know, he's just a hold. But I'd rather hold him than some guy that's, you know, going to be 25 points last week and 3 points this week. You know, you just got to be smart about how you're building your rosters and how you're maintaining them.
It's a game of chess. Yeah. You know, you could call it the 3D type, 3D chess. Sure, absolutely. Like, you want to be thinking a move or two ahead, absolutely. And if you're going to the promised land, which, by the way, goats, that's why you're here. We're going to go to the promised land together. There's going to be some moves that you're going to be like, well, I'm not sure if I should drop him or not. I need to hold on to him like this guy just in case. Well, I mean, just in case. I would say it's a slippery slope. The handcuffing of the running back, yes. However, you're not necessarily holding on to the MVSs of the world because you're afraid of this wide receiver, you know, Josh Downs going down. Yeah, and I just threw that out there, just as an example. You can't necessarily play like that. Julian, good evening to you, GOAT. How are you? What can we help you with this evening? Traded JK and the Ferguson for Isaiah Pacheco and Bowers. I like the idea of trying to move J.K. Dobbins now because with Gus Edwards in the fold,
and he looks better too. I mean, I just
he's fresh.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, we've seen Gus Edwards, you know, produce in the past. So,
I like this trade for you. The only, I mean, and I'm sure you thought of this yourself. You know, how's Isaiah Pacheco's usage going to look like when he comes back? He's slated. He's gonna return. Now again, like we were just mentioning with the 49ers, you know, that unfortunately, you know, the Chiefs aren't playing fantasy football. So like you know, Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, they I don't know if they're going to necessarily run Isaiah Pacheco into the ground come week 11, come week 12. However, if you're playoff bound, which I'm sure you are playoff bound, Julian, Isaiah Pacheco could be a very strong asset for you at running back. Speaking of fresh, you know, we'd like to think that, okay, he's fully healed. He's 100%, much like what we just saw with CMC, different injury. And yeah, this is a nice move. And Bowers over Ferguson is the no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean the Bowers upgrade is huge.
That's a no-brainer.
My only concern, excuse me, is, I mean, I'm guessing if you traded away Dobbins, I'm hoping that you have another running back that, you know, takes a spot until Pacheco is available. Because here's the thing: they opened his practice window. Do you know in the last 2 days did he practice at all? To your knowledge?
To my knowledge, there's no information that he was suited up in practicing to the media.
If
to
he
the medium.
hasn't, here's the thing: it's a 21-day practice window. It could be 2 weeks before he practices, and that doesn't mean he's going to be active right away.
They're
You
coming
know,
up, and they're
so
coming up on bye, aren't they?
no, they already had their bye.
Chiefs.
Yeah, they were week 6, I believe.
Interesting. But they did.
Yeah,
But
they were week 6.
they did open up the 20-day window, and yeah, no, I'm gonna.
So that's the big kicker in this is when does he see game time? And then you have to remember too, it's not like he's going to come back and they're going to give him the ball.
Well, I just said that.
times,
Yeah, I just said that.
You know, yeah. So hopefully you have a running back that's a fill in that, you know. My suggestion is people are like done with Kareem Hunt now that this news broke with Pacheco. So I would lowball the guy that's got Kareem Hunt just so you got the 1-for-1 flop, you know, and then it's just an easy flip once Pacheco's back if he's taking over that backfield again, you know, because you could probably get Hunt for little to nothing right now, I would assume. So
I factor Kareem Hunt to still be involved. He's
yeah.
I think he has pleasantly surprised his fantasy owners, and of course, again, his actual owner, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So Kareem Hunt has been extremely serviceable, extremely valuable. The Isaiah Pacheco is, again, for what we've seen out of Pacheco versus what we've seen out of Kareem Hunt, you've got more skill out of Isaiah Pacheco. I would expect Kareem Hunt not to just go quietly into the night, and they would still use a nice little dual action running backs. Nevertheless, again, I think if we're playing the long game in a short, the long game in a not so long window, coming up with week 15 playoffs, so not too far away from now. I think Isaiah Pacheco could wind up being a smash running back for you come that week 14, come that week 15. I'm not sure if it's going to happen week 12, week 13, but if we're projecting out, yes.
Well, okay. So Pacheco practice limited Wednesday and Thursday. Thank you for that info. He's got Brees, Chubb, Bucky. So he can get by for a couple weeks, if needed. I think. I mean, Chubb's got a good matchup this week. So I think it'll be okay, and I think that upgrade up to to Bowers is really good.
I think Nick Chubb could be sneaky this week too. I think the entire Browns.
The entire Browns offense.
The entire Browns is sneaky.
I made a DFS. I always do like an early build, and I put Winston in, I put Tillman in, I put Njoku in, and I put Elijah Moore in. I'm like, I can't do this realistically, but I'm like, I just wanted to play them all because it's such a good matchup.
Commissioner Rhino and AB built their DFS lineup right here on the channel. The video is uploaded live, and they do have Nick Chubb in there. Yeah, I think all the Browns is going to, not all of them, but the ones that we're interested in, just the ones that you mentioned, or even Elijah Moore. Yeah, or I think the Browns are a sneaky play, if that's what you want to call it, quote unquote sneaky in New Orleans for sure. Jason Goat. Would I trade Pittman, Wandalius Robinson, another Ferguson? Yeah, everyone wants to get rid of the freaking Cowboys, and I don't blame you. I don't freaking blame you. And one of Alexander Madison or Audric Estime for, well, no, I wouldn't want to. We're trying to get rid of Cowboys, not get them, right? Kate Otten is on bye. Brian Thomas Jr., that's tough. That's tough with that quarterback situation. It's a 4 for 3. I only used Pittman and Jake. Are you making this deal, Jonesy?
Okay, here's the thing. Wandale's a nothing burger.
So disappointing.
And
It's just so
I love
disappointing.
Wandale.
Oh my God. The deep leagues, folks, if you're listening, and I know you are, goats. Goats. We play in a lot of like deep formats,
I
dynasty
default to 12
formats.
team leagues when I give
Yeah,
advice.
and I got Wandale in a bunch of spots. I thought, and it's still possible too, by the way, if there's going to be a quarterback change, so it's not like he's just completely dead. There's still some life. That line on the monitor is still.
It's not the quarterback. How many targets is he getting a week?
It's not great. It's not optimal right now. No, it's not. So it's not what we had thought. We saw some spurts of it earlier in the year, and it kind of flatlined. Nevertheless, are you doing this? Are you doing this deal?
I mean, so essentially, if he's only playing Pittman and Ferguson right now, this trade is kind of Brian Thomas Jr. Pittman swap and a Jake Ferguson and Cade Otton swap. For me, I want to get out of the Cade Otton business. I don't want to buy the Cade Otton business. Mike Evans is coming back. Otton's anything is possible.
Mike Evans is coming back.
Evans is going to be the guy there. I'm not relying on Cade Otton to be putting up 25 points a game or thinking he will be. You got to be realistic. So, I mean, I like going from Pittman to Brian Thomas Jr., but then again, their quarterback situation isn't much better. So, I don't think I'm doing it just because it's not really that big of a jump from Pittman to Brian Thomas Jr. and Ferguson to Cade Otton, in my opinion. It's not. And you're getting rid of Madison or Estime, which, I mean, Madison's the guy right now. I'm a little higher on Zamir White going forward. But and Estime,
I don't even know if I can stay on the show any longer.
Sean Payton loves Estime, so it's still going to be hard to play him because it's still a three-headed monster there. But it's kind of one of those things where you just don't want your opponent to have him,
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to be a three-headed monster the way we think anymore. I think what we saw last week, the usage out of Audric Estime, we need to see one more week, this week, at home against the Falcons. And let's see what Sean Payton does with Audric Estime. Javonte Williams, in my mind, from this seat, is toast. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I may die on the sword here. But I think what we saw last week, I don't know how you could even have the balls to give Javonte Williams another chance. He might as well be that dude that we're talking about for our GOAT rosters, the dude there as insurance. Nevertheless, you might have a home run league winner here with a Denver running back. He likes Jaleel McLaughlin. Let's not forget that. So I don't think it's a dead situation for him. I think it's a really dead situation for Javonte Williams.
I don't think it's a dead situation for Javonte.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's see what they do this Sunday against the Falcons.
And the problem with Estime is he's not that pass catching back that Javonte is, and even McLaughlin.
We're getting nothing out of that.
So
we're getting nothing out of that.
That, to me, Javonte is their best pass catcher. So to me, he's always going to have that role at least. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not doing this trade. There's not enough of to me. Like I said,
in other words, like this one, Jason, it's not going to really necessarily help you so much, and it's not going to hurt you. This isn't really moving the needle one way or another.
If I knew Trevor Lawrence was going to be healthy the rest of the year or something, that would be a different story. Then maybe I would do it, but I don't know that, and I don't
I know you're not. I know
Want a
you're
chance
not
there.
big. I know you're not big on the consensus ranking, unless of course we're consensus. But Audric Estime is consensus-wise ranked higher than Javante Williams this week. Raheem Mostert's ranked higher than him.
But here's the thing: I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. On paper,
That's why I want to.
He's the starting running back.
That's
the guy.
That's why
that game script will change that.
That's why. Yeah. But at the same token, though, on the flip side, I wanna hold on to Audric Estime, and I want to see.
Yes.
I want to see what happens this week. I want to see at least the same usage. At least I don't want to see it decrease. If it decreases, then we have then we have just complete volatility again.
Yeah.
That's all. Good. I appreciate you coming in here, Jason. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. We appreciate the likes, the subscribes. Really means a lot. What do we got here? Linda go. Need one in the flex. Full PPR. JK, Cedric the Entertainer, or Zay Flowers? It's a nice team. It is. I know, Linda, you've been in here before, and you've presented some nice options. So therefore, I know it's a nice roster. In the full PPR, as we were stating earlier, at least again, in my opinion, JK's kind of not taking the back seat, but kind of getting into that mold of a 60-40, 55-45, one way or another. He is the pass catching back. Gus Edwards is not. Gus Edwards doesn't catch any balls. JK is. I think I like Cedric the Entertainer. Or what about the Flowers, man? Now, of course, Todd Monken, his latest press conference, which I did catch, they're trying to get Deontay Johnson involved. We're looking for ways to get Deontay Johnson involved. Is this going to hurt Zay Flowers?
Well,
is it going to hurt?
Yeah.
I think we're going to start Zay Flowers here. As much as I like Cedric the Entertainer against the Saints, as much as J.K. Dobbins in a flex is a nice piece, in a full PPR, I think I would want Zay Flowers here.
See, me, I'm actually going to go Tillman on this one.
Okay. It's close.
Because to me, it is.
It's close.
You brought up Deontay and, Tomlin earlier in the week.
Oh, it's a revenge game.
Tomlin was like, someone asked him about Deontay, and he's like, oh, we don't have time. I'm paraphrasing here. It was something like, we don't have time for that, to worry about players that aren't in the offense or something. That's a complete paraphrase. But
yeah, I think
Deontay's gonna be pissed. He's gonna he's gonna want revenge. And I have a feeling, I mean, they didn't trade for him just to let him play 2 snaps or something, so I mean, I could understand going Flowers, and I wouldn't blame anyone for going Flowers. But me personally, I think I would lean Tillman, just because he's the guy there, and the matchup is amazing this week. And that's a revenge game for Jameis Winston.
It's a revenge game for Jameis Winston. It certainly is, and we expect him to definitely want to put it on them for basically sitting his ass for years. Nevertheless, I mean, I want to bank on. I mean, I think I'm banking on just the overall Ravens offense in this situation. It's close though. It's definitely close though, Linda. I don't think you could.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Dobbins is the safest floor. He's gonna probably, not get you a 0. Not that any of these guys will, but. I think Tillman's got the highest upside.
I want to bank on again. It's close. I think I want to bank on the Ravens offense here. Oh, look at the Buck Goat. Currently have Jonnu. Did you Jones? Did you think that week 11, 2024, in the year of our fantasy Lord, we'd be talking about Jonnu Smith?
After last year.
After last year, absolutely. Did you think?
I am not surprised.
You're not surprised?
No, just because when you think he's done, He always resurfaces, and yeah, it becomes a thing again.
I should be a fan of Janu if I like played that type of game. Like, yeah, it's kind of like sort of like my name, Janu, kind of sort of like I should be a fan of him. I'm not. It's not that I'm not a fan of Janu Smith. I don't really necessarily believe in the offensive ecosystem of the Dolphins using a tight end. However, from what we've seen the last a handful of weeks, Tua he's been targeting this dude. He really has. It picked up Knox. Reminds me of another one of our close goats here on the show. Said that he picked up Dawson Knox today. Picked up Dawson Knox and thinking of starting him instead of Jonnu. Possibly higher scoring game against Kansas City. Yeah. I have it on good authority from D-Bro Derek Brown over at Fantasy Pros. Kansas City Chiefs do, or I should say, are very pass friendly to the tight end. To the tight end. Very pass friendly to the tight end. If Dalton Kincaid does not go, and it doesn't look like
he's already
ruled out, it's Dawson Knox wheels up.
Yep.
It's Dawson Knox. I mean, this is a veteran that's he's had some pretty he's had two really good seasons. Then they drafted Dalton Kincaid, which all right, it was like fine, no problem. All right, Dalton Kincaid, nice, promising tight end. This season has not worked out, and now he lands on the injury report, or I don't know if it's serious or not, but Dawson Knox is a capable tight end, or he's a capable pass catching tight end. He illustrated that in 2021, I believe, was his best season against the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe that we could rely on the advanced information that we have. That they are pass friendly against the tight end. B, we know that Josh Allen likes to use his tight end. C, what's Amari Cooper's status? And even if Amari Cooper goes, if he goes, he's.
I expect Amari Cooper to play this week, but that doesn't, deter me from playing Knox if I'm in a situation where I need a tight end. It's Knox.
No. If anything, it would. I think that would.
It could help.
I think that would help Dawson Knox's case.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Derek, goat speed to you. Let's go, baby. Let's go. There he is. There he is. There's our Dawson guy. There's our Dawson Corleone. You know what this dude does? That talk about like kind of sort of like a boss move. Is it here in this comment? No, but let me tell you what he does, Jonesy. He goes and picks up Dawson Knox because his opponent has Dalton Kincaid.
Yep,
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use the blocking tactic with the tight end in week 11. Nevertheless, it is a boss move, and I did ask. I wanted to know, or I do want to know, who's his opponent going to pick up now? I want to know I want to know his tight end now, and we're going to track that. Yeah. Nevertheless, my friend, my guy, how do we feel about Drake London? Oh, yeah, this was another. We spoke about this a few days ago. Let's get Jonesy's thoughts on this. Drake London and Darnell Mooney. Again, back to the Broncos game in Denver. Denver's got a tough defense. There's no question, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I mean, London's wide receiver 4 overall, PPR, averaging 15 points a game roughly off the top of my head. I'm not sitting London. I mean, yeah, he's going to be paired up with Patrick, and he's probably going to get shadowed. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough game. But there's certain guys you just never sit.
Let me show you something.
And I understand, Hopkins. I mean, he's got a good matchup too, but I'm not sitting London for Hopkins. I want to play Hopkins instead of someone else.
Do you believe in PFF grade?
I mean, everything.
Are you a PFF guy?
I let's put it this way: I use everything as guides. Good. I don't,
Good. That's what I like to hear. I want to show you guys something. So Patrick Surtain. And again, I just said the Broncos defense is good. They are. I think they're ranked 11th against or 8th against the pass. Again, they're good. They're better against the rush. But let's just, for shits and giggles, folks, for shits and giggles, do you want to take a stab at the number 1 graded cornerback in the league? Corner. Yeah, just take a stab at it. I'll give you a hint. You want a hint?
Sure.
AFC East.
It's not Sauce Gardner.
No, it sure as hell ain't Sauce Gardner.
Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. That's right. And it makes sense. It kind of makes sense because the Dolphins' defense happens to be pretty good. There's our friend Patrick Surtain. 11th. He's graded defense 70. Now again, you got to kind of take PFF with a grain of salt because when they're giving out grades, they're passing out grades. It's basically they're evaluating the player and what the player's doing. Everything on the field. Everything, whether they're involved with how they're involved with the actual play, whether they catch the ball, whether they're blocking, whether they're doing this, whether they're doing that. So again, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. However, Patrick Surtain ranked okay. He's very good. He's ranked 11. I'm not sitting Drake London.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to sit that. Sit him.
Yeah, and he brings up ETN too, who Bigsby's been rolled out also. So ETN's not a horrible play this week either, just because he has that backfield to himself. But I'm still not playing ETN over London. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, even in the tough matchups, you gotta play the guys that have gotten you to, the point you're at. I mean, hopefully you have a winning record, but I'm still not starting a guy that's, top 5.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. We just saw we saw a good example of that this past Monday night, as a matter of fact. Tyreek running cardio all over the field. Basically, he's just a decoy for most of the game. And when it came down to like what would be or what seemed to be a sure running play, it was Tyreek coming off of the formation and just sat down wide open in the end zone. He scores, touchdown. He actually made it fantasy relevant for you. And that was Tyreek Hill with somewhat of a injured wrist.
Yeah, he said he's going to be having surgery in the offseason.
Of course he is. It plays into that lawsuit.
Yeah. It's I don't know what to feel about any of that because your wrist doesn't prevent you from getting open. So,
but my point. No. My point is, at the very worst, Drake London could seemingly just do that.
Yeah.
He's red zone targeted by Kirk. That's your basic floor right there for Drake London. Basic, bare minimum. I'm not gonna sit Drake London.
Mel.
Sniper. Oh wait, hold on. Of course we have wait a minute. Let me find it.
Okay. Well, I'll move on while you're finding it.
Well, we'll get right back to Quincy Goat. I saw Quincy Goat. Look at this game. Hell of a game.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy because, I mean, me, I have to go to bed real early. So I usually only see the first, half maybe of stats if I'm lucky, And when I woke up, I was like, what happened? Like, where did these points come from? I was playing against Saquon in a couple
No, it was a good game. It was a close game for 3 quarters, and then the Eagles just busted it open. They busted it open with Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
They busted it. There's the goat. There he is. What's up, goat? Sit one CD, Juwan Jennings, Debo, Cup, or Mooney in this situation. Holy smokes. I want to start Juwan Jennings this week against the Seahawks.
You want to start or sit?
No, I want to start him.
You want to start Jennings, even though you have Debo too.
Yeah, I think I want to start both of them, I guess. Yeah. I don't want to sit Juwan Jennings against the Seahawks this week. I'm not going to sit Debo either. Cup, Mooney. Ugh. You could kind of.
I mean, Mooney's got a good matchup.
I know. Darnell Mooney's
let's put it this way.
Well, Darnell Mooney.
You're not sitting Cup.
I don't know.
You're not sitting Debo. Mooney's got an amazing matchup. So to me, it comes down to Lamb and Jennings, and I'm not playing Jennings if I have Debo. I'm going Lamb. I'm sitting Jennings. I mean, Jennings could have a great game, but when it comes down to it, I'm not starting two wide receivers on the same team.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough.
Because most likely one's going to dud and one's not, or they both dud, and then you're really screwed.
Or they both spike.
I don't see them both doing that. If CMC was still out, sure, maybe, but CMC is going to be at least 15 touches, 20 touches,
There's 48 and a half implied total. So split that in half. Let's assume like goats, not asses, that that's 24 points for the Niners. Now who's scoring the 24 points for the Niners? I mean, yeah, I think CMC is going to score for sure, but where else is it coming from? That's all I'm saying.
The only thing that would maybe push me into starting Debo and Jennings would be Kittle's been dealing with an injury. Was it a hamstring, Kittle? I don't remember exactly. But that popped up today, I think, or that's when I first saw it at least. If he's out for some reason, then maybe I could see going Jennings and Debo. Just because that's one less mouth to feed. But if they're at full strength, because you got to remember, Ricky Pearsall's still a thing too. He's still involved in that offense, just as much as Jennings. So,
well, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I know Ricky Pearsall had a nice play.
Ricky Pearsall was drafted to be Brandon Ayuk's spot, but then they re-signed Brandon Ayuk for some stupid reason.
But that's the role that Juwan Jennings has, is Brandon Ayuk's spot. That's the point right there. Ricky Pearsall wasn't drafted for Brandon Ayuk's spot, in my opinion. I think Juwan Jennings is the dude that is now slid into Brandon Ayuk's role when healthy. Nevertheless, let's get Quincy his wide receivers.
I'm sitting Jennings unless Kittle's out. Then I can probably maybe justify sitting Lamb, but it's still tough.
No.
I can't see myself sitting Lamb. I know it was bad last week, but
that's tough. That's tough. No, it is, and I would think that we would get a better performance out of Cooper Rush again. I mean, we're crossing our fingers, even from a pure fantasy standpoint. Not being a fan of the Cowboys or rooting against the Cowboys, it's not that. Certainly not. We want Cooper Rush to have a good game for fantasy purposes, for CD Lamb. Yes, I would have a hard time sitting CD Lamb. It goes right back to what we were just talking about with Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. You just don't sit these guys. They're CD Lamb's going to be the focal point. There's nobody else on that team. You can't sit CD Lamb. You're gonna sit Jennings, you're doing it at a peril against the Seahawks. That's my opinion. Quincy, go. Tomorrow we'll have the Fantasy Dad on. We're gonna have Commissioner Rhino on tomorrow night. We can revisit this. Let me do some more research for you, Quincy Goat. We have time. We have time, man. The goats. We will prevail. Belinda, 2 QB. Start full PPR. Well, I'm in a 2 QB. Several 2 QBs. I have to start AR on that team. That's for sure. I have to. So start full PPR. AR, Tua, Stafford, Jameson, Winston. Need 2. Who are you taking out of these 4? It's pretty. It's this one. This is kind of simple, actually.
I mean, the safe option is Stafford and Tua. That's your safe option. They're not gonna, give you.
Damn, this
2.
is a.
They'll give you something at least.
This must be like a 20 roster format league. If Alinda's got 4 of these dudes for the QB2, right? Or or just the QB spots, these 4 quarterbacks. It's actually a nice testament if for all of those that are watching the Week 11 lineup advice show and Alinda's presentation right now. It's a testament to the to the depth of roster that he has created, or she. Kudos. I'm going to go. Now, I have to do Anthony Richardson. I don't have these other options. Yes, it's safe to play Matt Stafford, and it's going to be safe to play Tua. If you're looking for the ceiling, if you're looking for the fireworks, it could very well come out of Jameson Winston and the Browns. It could very well be that. And actually AR as well. It could very well be AR. If you want your safe floors, it's the 2 in the middle. You want the fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would probably go. I'd pick one of Tua or Stafford, and then I don't know if I feel safe. Like I have to play. Like I have Richardson and Scott Fishbowl, so I'm probably playing him in that. But I don't want to. I want to kind of see a week first, see if there is something that maybe clicked in his head that has changed, but I don't think anything could change that quickly with him. So me, I'm probably picking Stafford and Winston. Get someone that's going to give you a nice floor, and then get Winston that, I mean, he's definitely could hit that high ceiling this week. With playing New Orleans. So New Orleans is the team that you want to attack as soon as they trade Lattimore.
Yep. No, it's almost a tank without saying the word tank.
Yep.
More or less. That team is going to have a top 5 draft pick. Let's just put it that way. Yep. If they already didn't get rid of Sniper Mel is playoff bound. Sniper Mel is just got several rosters, several leagues, several start-sits. I couldn't be more happier. Here's the Tyler Goat. Let's roll Dawson Knox. Let's roll Dawson Knox.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. There's just not much upside with Hunter Henry. I mean, I know we've seen it, but
you got a Rams team that is going to come into Foxborough. They need this win. They have to play and beat the Patriots. And we know the Patriots, they're not fully there on offense. We know that they're not. And now, again, the Rams defense isn't any juggernaut here. They're not. But I think they're in a better position to definitely win this game. On the road, it's a tough game. I'm still going to go with Dawson Knox and the connection that he has with Josh Allen, Tyler.
Yeah. I want a piece of that Bills-Chiefs game. If
Khalil Shakir is a sneaky play, but I know that's not what Tyler needs to hear. I think Dawson Knox will find the end zone. I think you're going to get 6 points with Dawson Knox this week. Darnell or Bates? I'm not a fan of Bates. I'm not. You know this. You know I'm not a fan of Bates.
Why am I drawing a blank on who Bates?
I think it's Rashad Bateman. Right?
Oh,
I think it's Rashad Bateman.
I'm like, who's Bates?
Melissa, is it? It's Rashad Bateman, correct? I think it's Bateman. Anyway, let's go Darnell Mooney. He popped up on the injury report. We haven't discussed that, Jonesy. He popped up on the injury report, and he didn't just pop up on the injury report with like a swollen elbow. He popped up on the injury report with a reported Achilles.
Yeah. But he's now off the injury report. Oh, she means Jake Bates, the kicker.
Oh.
It just threw me off because usually people don't ask kickers and wide receivers in the same question.
Oh. Okay.
I'm still going Moody. I mean, I'm not.
The sniper strikes.
Unless it's kicker premium or something, something where you get extra points for kickers.
If it's the SFB, you do, don't you?
Oh, Moody. Why are we thinking Mooney? We're idiots.
Because we're getting kicker questions. That's why. Why haven't we banned this for crazy?
Reset.
Why haven't we?
Sorry, Mel. It's been a long week.
Okay, fine. There is a league besides SFB and Warriorable that I'm playing with a kicker. Yeah, I picked up Sanders on Monday night. He did well. Wow, yeah. There you go. Now, what am I supposed to do? Start chasing Jason Sanders 15 points each week? Oh, come on. I don't want to play like that. I don't want to live that life.
Okay. So, kickers.
Give her a kicker, please.
Moody and Bates. So you got Moody against Seattle, Bates against Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Moody just because I think the game's going to be probably higher scoring.
Now she's making fun of us.
Go right ahead. Make fun of us. Please. All in the comments, everyone, make fun of us. We deserve it for that one.
Calling us goofballs and shit.
Scott Fishbowl, Flex 1, Henry or Disley. Craft is already starting.
All right, well, this one's kind of interesting to me. Well, we just got Tyler Goat asking about Hunter Henry, but in this format, we know that she could probably start more than one of these dudes.
Yeah.
Because of that several flex positions that are available.
Yep. I should have started Ertz, but I didn't.
Disley's a sneaky play, and I'd show you where I picked him up, but I don't want to do that because I named him, and it's not appropriate.
You and your names.
I named Will. I picked him up. I had to. Trey McBride off. Trey McBride's off, folks. That's one of the other reasons why we're getting so many Dawson Knox questions. Not because he's handcuffed to Dalton Kincaid like Max Corleone did, which is.
Yeah, I mean you got Otten off, you got McBride off. Those are
Trey McBride, Kate Otten's off. Anyway, in any event.
I
like Disley's.
Yeah, I'm going Henry with this.
To start one. Kraft is starting. Tucker Kraft is going to start. Of course he is.
Yeah, I don't trust the passing offense and for the Chargers.
You don't trust Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh and the newfound success that they have achieved in the passing game versus the Patriots.
But you got to think about it though.
I'm thinking.
What changed in the past month that would maybe force them to throw the ball more. Gus Edwards went to IR. J.K. Dobbins is obviously getting less of a workload, or they want him to get less of a workload. So that forces them to pass more. Now that
it's working, though. It's somewhat working. Quentin Johnston has scored 5 out of the last 7, I believe. Ladd McConkey had that 2-touchdown performance a few weeks ago. It's kind of what's working, and Will Disley has found some success in this passing attack as well. I'm not saying this is like the 2001 Rams. I'm not suggesting that at all, but I'm suggesting what we have seen is that the Chargers have gotten a little bit more well-rounded. They're not just that complete ground running attack, and I kind of feel like they're better balanced now. That's my take on it. Nevertheless, I'm gonna go Disley. I think I'm
gonna go Henry. So Mel come back tomorrow night. We'll do the tiebreaker with Rhino and Trent.
We appreciate you, Sniper. We do. I appreciate. Well, we all appreciate you, Sniper.
We appreciate everyone.
Of course, we appreciate all the goats. We really do. But Sniper Mel, by the way, someone that we've been connected to before we launched this channel. So that's why, again, yeah, that. Duh. What's the camera?
Just do one of these. Put your hand up and let it kind of refocus.
That's dumb. Take the next question while I fix this. Thank you.
The next question is, there are no more questions right now. So, what did I just do? That's about the kickers.
It's not better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Things always have to
maybe just try going up and down with it. See if that does anything.
Anyway,
all right. So, are there any good plays that you want to bring up tonight that you think are must starts or sneaky plays, anything like that? I mean, I know we brought up the Cleveland offense. We're both like them this week.
Well, there is something that I wanted to discuss. To be honest, yes, and it doesn't. And you know what? It's kind of staring me right in the face between Sniper and yourself. I'm very curious to see how the Packers look coming off of the bye. I am. I'm invested in Packers. I've been invested in Packers.
Good week for Josh Jacobs.
Everyone is leaning towards that. But what about Jordan Love? I mean, what's Jordan Love? Is this going to be another smash game for Jaden Reed? Are we going to see him connect with Christian Watson finally? Is this Romeo Dobbs, the ambiguous wide receiver core? And it's week 11. And what is Jaden Reed going to be the only must start? We've had a lot of Jaden Reed trade questions.
Yeah, well, I think Jaden Reed's pretty much if you have him, it's pretty much a starter for most people. I have Jaden Reed in a couple leagues. I would never sit him. I think, like I said a couple seconds ago, Josh Jacobs. This is a Josh Jacobs game more than it's a Jordan Love game, in my opinion. But I'm still playing Jaden Reed. Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson, and if people are still hanging on to,
What about this?
What?
Let me show you. Let me show you if I can. Oh, I would have to. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a big deal. Let's do it over here. I'll show you another league. You should have been in this one too, but you were probably like, yeah, no, I don't want to be in this one. I'm already in one. I call it the Jazzy League. It's got another name on it, but I call it the Jazzy League. Transactions. Sleep is so much different on the damn website than it is on the app. Fuck. All right. Let's see. Let's roll. Let's roll. Present. Share. Share. Sharing is caring. Share. So we got General Shiesty. Then I empty most of my team until probably Saturday night, early Sunday morning. I'll start them. How do you like this one? Yeah, we call him PFC Sneaky. It was Sneaky Bastard, but now it's Sneaky Complete.
Yeah, Ertz is good. He's a good tight end this year. I mean, I have him. I guess in Scott Fishbowl I have him, but I got Hawkinson back finally, so I've been playing that decision every week.
Matchup. Nope. Matchup. Trade. Nope. Oh, this is the worst.
What are you looking for?
There we go. The Geppetto Upbringers. The Geppetto Warriors. This is a good team that TD's got. Good team. He must have drafted Jefferson, then Garrett Wilson. Or definitely was these two rounds 1 and 2. And I'm not sure where he went from there. Nevertheless, this is the team that I have to play. Nico Collins. He probably went 3 wide receivers in a row based on, let's go back. Based on the fact that it's Aaron Jones here and then Josh Jacobs. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did, in my opinion. Nevertheless, this is the team that I have to go up against. We're going to roll. Here's the AR that I was referring to before. Oh, my God. Such a mess. Kenny Skywalker will roll. Brees, Devon, Malik's on bye. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with T. Higgins. What would you do with T. Higgins, Jonesy?
You're starting T. Higgins this week. I mean, unless you're better options like Drake London, I mean, it's if T. Higgins is healthy, you're playing. I mean, you take the risk. We've seen him be healthy and not be even on the field, but that's the risk you take when you draft T. Higgins.
Like we haven't T. Higgins is such a disappointing situation with T. Higgins, isn't it? Such a disappointing situation. You can't get a full season out of him. He plays with the best wide receiver in the game. I mean, just factors, situations are just against T. Higgins. Yeah. And I got news for you. He'll land somewhere else next year. It's not. I don't think he's transforming into some alpha wide receiver one. He's going to be
he's got to stay healthy first.
He's going to be a complement again. Maybe the 1A of the complement, but he's going to be a complement again. Nevertheless, yes, I know your stats. Don't worry about stats. I keep saying it. Year 2, sophomore season, just completely dominating like a goat.
Jacob, thanks for coming. Unfortunately, I'm in a bad situation where I'm currently starting Jalen Warren as my RB2. Should I roll with him if he's active or pick up Gus Edwards, Ernest Johnson, PPR?
That's not the
I do. What's the latest on Jalen Warren?
I got Jalen Warren info right here. I'm playing against Jalen Warren. I'm playing against Jalen Warren, and not as an RB2. So I understand exactly where Jacob is coming from. I
Okay.
wouldn't want Jalen Warren as my RB2 either. I
No.
want Jalen Warren as my RB3. But
Okay, so
not,
Jalen Warren was limited today.
and it's not necessarily gross. It's just it's obviously based on like injury factor and like Jalen Warren. We're waiting for him. He almost got in the end zone last week. We're waiting for his usage to continue to uptick to increase. Jalen Warren is skillful out of the backfield. He has explosive playability. We have not seen it yet. We're almost seeing it. Almost. But should I roll with him if he's active or pick up? I would want pick up Gus Edwards anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can pick up Gus Edwards and you
Pick
have
up-
something to drop, I would do it.
Pick up Gus Edwards anyway, because again, his usage has increased. We know that the Chargers they still want to maintain their running attack. We know they want to run the ball. I'm sure that they are trying to preserve J.K. Dobbins. You know the Chargers they're in the driver's seat to get a wild card right now, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they're in the driver's seat to get a wild card with their record right now. As long as they continue, they control their own destiny. They want to continue to win. They have a better record than the Broncos. I'm pretty sure the Chargers are in the driver's seat. Jonesy, could you confirm that or deny that?
Sorry, I was looking up something else.
What's up, Tron Goat? Start Adams, the flex side Pickens, Judy, and Ray Ray.
All right, so right now the Chargers, they are, looks like they have a 57% chance to make the playoffs. This is from ESPN.
You know that'll increase a couple of points with a win, maybe.
Yeah.
I would want Jacob go try to get Gus Edwards anyway.
Yeah.
And then the decision would be Gus Edwards or Jalen Warren to start.
Yeah, I'm not going Dearness Johnson. The only thing that worries me with Gus Edwards is he's not a pass catcher. So if that game script gets out of control, then he kind of becomes irrelevant.
It's true.
But
it's true.
You know, which obviously Cincinnati can put up points, but it's how will Cincinnati play against the Chargers? So, I mean, if the Chargers can, keep that ball on the ground, and I mean, I would feel better about starting Gus Edwards, I think, for a floor, but the ceiling, I think, is going to be with Jalen Warren if he gets involved in that pass game. And,
yeah, here's the right.
So that game could go. I mean, I know those AFC North matchups are
supposed to be punch you in the face,
smash mouth football, and a lot of times they're low scoring and things like that. So,
but let's also take this into account. So the Ravens' rush defense is probably the best in the league, right? Their front seven. Their defense is basically 7 on 11 because the back four is non-existent. So if we stay along with that logic, then it's a bad day for Najee Harris. However, you take a pass-catching running back into the equation in Jalen Warren, ceiling play. Yes.
Yeah. It's Jalen Warren's probably going to give you 2 or 20. Gus Edwards is probably going to give you 8, or if he gets a couple touchdowns, 20. I see a higher ceiling with Warren. Just couple
of touchdowns. Holy
yeah, smokes. I mean, I don't see Edwards doing that, but anything's possible. I mean, he could run a couple in from the 1 yard line. I mean, I'm just saying that the floor is going to be with Edwards if you want someone that's just the safe play, who's going to be involved at least a little bit, I know it's gross.
No, it's a lot.
Okay.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
I mean, and speaking of bye weeks, bye week 12 and 14 is crazy.
So yeah, right, that's why
teams on bye week 12 and 6 teams on bye week 14. Plan now.
It's more. Wait. Yeah, it's more of a reason to make sure, like Gus Edwards should not be available right now. He should just be rostered. Just make you need these skill position players. We could screw around a little bit with the tight ends, the kickers, the defenses. Get the wide receivers, get the running backs, wide receivers, and I guess you want a backup quarterback if you can afford it.
Be looking ahead. Because everyone waits until the week of, and then you're fighting everyone else for these waiver pickups if you don't have something. And week 12 and 14 are going to be crazy, and you don't want to be fighting everyone at the end of the year when you need playoff wins to get into the playoffs. If you're fighting for a spot there. All right, Mel, Scott Fishbowl, Adams, or Flex. I have Pickens, Judy, and Ray. I don't know what the Pickens or Flex means, though.
Flex. If it's Davante Adams or Flex, we flex. I have Pickens, Judy, and Ray.
I mean, either way. Okay, so is she just asking, do I just have Adams in my lineup?
Ray. Davante Adams is a start.
Yeah.
Davante Adams is a start. If this is SFB, you want Ray McLeod also in the flex because he's been getting you those return scoring points. I mean, there's no reason to deviate away from that now.
Pickens is 100% start this week.
Yeah, Pickens too.
He's 100% start every week.
Go take a look at the last 5 games. Just go back to week 7. Take a look at Ray's points, 7, 8, 9. Take a look at Pickens' points. Pickens' points have increased each week. They're increasing week over week. Davante Adams is the tricky one. I know he had that touchdown a couple of weeks ago, but
yeah,
Davante Adams is almost in that category. How do you sit Davante Adams when you know it could just be any given point, any given game? It can be, unless we've seen the end of Davante Adams.
Okay, so Ray McLeod in Scott Fishbowl, the last 3 weeks have been 19, 21, and 18.
Exactly.
But then 7, 12, 13, 20, 12, 9, 21. So, I mean, he's got that ability.
I wouldn't want to
because of the returning.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit that at this point. As crazy as it sounds. But because of the scoring, because of the format, yeah, you're gonna devote one spot to him. Now you have to play around with the other 4 or 5 flex positions.
But I mean, Davante's, he's put up 9, almost 10 last week, but he put up 23 the week before. I mean, that's how Davante is. He's kind of up and down a lot. I'm still not sitting Davante, and I'm not sitting Pickens. Not against Baltimore. No way. Their back end is too bad.
John Goat. What's up, John Goat?
Because Pickens is putting up 20 points 2 of the last 3 too, To the 5, Tyreek, Cup, D-Hop, Mooney, JSN. What are you doing, Sieg?
PPR. Boy. Yeah. Darnell Mooney's going to have to take a seat here, unfortunately, because he'd be a pretty decent start otherwise. I'm probably going to play Tyreek. And I would probably want to play Cup against the Patriots. This is tough. It is because, again, you've got DeAndre Hopkins. I could see him having a pretty – look, this is like the 425 game, is it not?
Which one?
Yes, this is like the 425 CBS game, the Chiefs at Bills. I could so see – This is like I can so see DeAndre Hopkins having like one of these games, like in the fourth quarter, like several catches, maybe a touchdown from Pat. I can see that. I really can. I think we're safer though. I think we're going to be safer with Cooper Kupp, and I don't want to start. I don't want to sit Tyreek Hill.
I agree. It's Tyreek and Cup. Even though I like Mooney's matchup this week, very good matchup. D-Hop.
Is it only we can't put one of these guys in a flex, Tron? Also, like we can't take 3 for PPR. Are you using the flex for the running back for a running back? Let us know about that. Because again, man, I know we're gonna leave some points on the bench. It's tough. That's a tough one, Tron. That's a tough one. Big glowing goat. Freaking man. Can we get any way to get gifts on here?
I don't know.
It's like bah! I want him to talk. How could he? I want him to speak to the goats that come in here. If you're still on the trade deadline, yeah. Would you trade DJ Moore for Rico down?
Not for Rico.
Ugh.
I'm all for getting out of the DJ Moore business if I can,
yeah.
But that just seems to be a little.
Well. I mean, like, look. If you need the running back. Like if you're hurting, if you're thin at the running back, but you're healthy at wide receiver, it may not be terrible. The Bears look terrible, and yes, the Cowboys look terrible. Could you move DJ Moore for someone else, perhaps? And you're probably coming up on trade deadline also, unless this is dynasty. But we are always going to presume here on the show that we're talking
redraft,
regular managed redraft. Yes, seasonal. Seasonal is another name for it of late. Again, if you're healthy at wide receiver, a little thin at running back, I would do the deal. Let's see if Rico Dowdle could become Cooper Rush's best friend. There was no Rico Dowdle in 2022, correct? That's something to consider. Let's take that. Let's think about this for a second. Cooper Rush in 2022, Jonesy. Those first few games, he didn't play that bad. He had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott to rely on. If they could figure out if Mike McCarthy and the brain trust upstairs could figure out the running back situation in week 11.
But it's not.
I know. It's a tough ask.
Rico Dowdle is not Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott.
I know.
It's not.
I know.
I mean, I understand the thinking of it, and you'd think that with a backup running back or a backup quarterback coming in, that they would rely on the run game more, and that would be a bump for the running back. But one, you got Mike McCarthy as a head coach, and two, Rico Dowdle isn't anything special.
That's your boy. You're saying it as if, like, damn him.
Well, I mean, Mike McCarthy isn't a horrible coach, but he's.
You fired him. You and Sniper Mel.
I also know his tendencies and how he acts, and I don't trust him with running backs. That's the thing. especially with one that's, you know, an average running back. I'm personally, unless you're just completely desperate for a running back, and I mean completely desperate, I'm probably not doing that deal. I'm hanging on to DJ Moore. He's the much better talent by 3 times.
Not this week, though.
And
right?
No, I would probably be sitting DJ Moore this week if I had better options at wide receiver and a flex.
What a
just
shitty
because
situation.
I want to see how that plays out. But if I'm looking long term and what the ceilings could be for each player, the ceiling's higher with DJ Moore. If you look at the possibilities, I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying that the possibility is higher just because he's that much of a better player. You know, you're selling low on DJ Moore and buying normal on Dowdle because he doesn't really have a buy high or a sell high, buy low. He's just Rico Dowdle. So I don't know. I don't like it personally.
Again, there must be a reason. There must be like, okay, fine. There's something in the roster that is suggesting that okay, like I'm looking for a running back, or somebody went over to that roster and said, you know what?
Yeah.
Thinking about.
Jacob, tell us who your running backs are.
I'm thinking, like maybe it was the league member that said, you know what? I'm thinking DJ Moore. Let me go try to buy this guy low. I think he's going to have a solid week 13, week 14, week 15. It doesn't. I mean, like, look, the Bears are in a pretty bad situation right now, but they're only 4-5.
Yeah, I mean,
their
schedule doesn't get any easier.
They've looked horrible. They've just absolutely looked horrible.
Sometimes when there's coaching changes, it adds fuel to the fire, and players and coaches do better, and you see that kind of rejuvenation of an offense.
Me and the sniper are going to be watching this game closely. I want to actually pay attention fully. I may not even watch the red zone. I may just seriously watch the Packers-Bears game. I want to see this game. I want to see every play. I want to see Caleb Williams. I want to see if he's looking for DJ Moore. What do you see? That's what I'm going to do this weekend, Jonesy. No Scott Hansen. It's Jordan Love. Weather in Chicago. Oh,
that's what I'm looking up right now.
We got the weather report already. I love it.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, there is going to be no weather. Like a 15% chance of
the weather
of rain.
I heard the most outrageous. I heard the most outrageous thing today. I'm trying to debate in my mind whether I should tell this quick story or not. The most outrageous thing. Holy smokes! Maybe
let's finish this question.
Yeah,
first.
maybe I'll save it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
All right, so
it has to do with weather. It has to do with weather.
Love or Goff this week? I mean, it's close. I'd probably side with Goff just because it's against Jacksonville. Is that what they're playing?
Yes.
Jacksonville, and they're at home.
I'm going with Jordan Love.
I just, I've said this before on the shows. Chicago's got a good back end defense.
I love your unbiased approach. I really do.
You have to be.
That's why we work so well together.
It's
why we all work very well together.
In fantasy, Rhino, you cannot be
no,
biased.
Of course not.
can't have bias with your home team.
Of course not. I love
It's why
your
you see
unbiased
people
approach.
with, like, I have so many people that I'm in leagues with that they have, 3-4 Packers or 3-4 Lions or whatever their team is. And it's like, there's one guy that I play with in the league. Every year he's got 3-5 San Francisco 49ers. This year he's actually doing well somehow, but he's got Purdy, CMC, he has Ayuk on IR, and he has Kittle. And it's like, dude, you need to
All right,
diversify.
you're always going to get those. You're always going to get those. That's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Let's just put it to you that way. But circling right back to your unbiased approach with the Packers, I'm going to be biased for you and go Jordan Love as quarterback. Jordan Love coming off of that poor game prior to the bye, a full bye, off, now playing the Bears. They own the Bears, by the way. They own them. Like the Bears just can't beat the Packers for some reason. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm gonna go with Jordan Love and all those weapons. They're going to use Josh Jacobs, and it's going to open up the game for all of them. Hopefully all of them. You can expect one of these vintage, if that's even a word you can associate with Jordan Love, vintage Jordan Love type games. Close to 300.
No, I don't see that.
I do. Quincy got me. Barty's out. Yes, he is. I did. That's exactly what I did. With my roster, with Trey McBride, I picked up Will Disley. That's the dude that was available. Then you dropped him for Dawson Knox. Was that a good move? It's a lateral move.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad move. I don't think it's necessarily you hit it out of the ballpark. I think it's like you hit a nice base hit by picking up Will Disley. You just hit another base hit with Dawson Knox. That's what I think.
Yep, I agree. It's not a move that's going to hurt you long term or anything. It's kind of a 1 week, maybe a couple week thing if this Kincaid thing lingers.
With the wide receivers that we just saw from Quincy, he's already got 18 points, give or take, plus or minus, with Jalen Hurts going into the week. So as long as he can play Saquon or Brian Robinson, he's already got a nice little lead. Jalen got his floor of about 18 points. I think Quincy goes in good shape, and we're marching together. We're marching. Yeah. So 8-piece chicken nuggets.
All right, Jacob's got more info for us. He said he could counter and try for Kareem Hunt. I wouldn't try for Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt short term, next 2 weeks probably. Yeah, for the next couple weeks, and then after that, it could be a lateral, move. Let's see here. So he's got Saquon and Chuba, our normal starters. Chuba's on bye, and he has Bucky, Rashad White, who are also on bye. So it's a bye week problem.
Let's hope that this is the bye week challenge.
And he's got Jalen Warren.
Week 11, where we can navigate with Jacob for the rest of the way, because it only gets as far as the team's on bye increases now.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, Saquon and Chuba are obviously his starters every week, and having Bucky and Rashad White are not bad backup options. So to me, getting Rico for 1 week, I'm not doing it, because you're probably not going to play Rico over any of these guys going forward, except for Jalen. I play him over Jalen Warren maybe, but so to me, I'm keeping DJ Moore. I'm not doing that trade. I would just use Jalen Warren, or maybe there's someone else on
It looks
waivers. I don't know, but
in the way I'm looking at it, Jacob, you're healthy. You're healthy with options between Bucky, Rashad. Okay, you got to get through. You got to get through this. So you've got Jalen. Chuba's on the bye. Yeah, you got a lot of bye situations this week, but you could get through it with Jalen. And look at what Saquon.
yeah, and especially with having Saquon as
You don't
your
you don't
RB.
need you don't need to make the move for Rico Dowdle this week.
Nope, you do not.
Yeah, it's a good team. Good team.
Good old Aaron.
I'm guessing or projecting in my head that the record is a winning record with that. Saquon and Chuba. That's all you needed to say.
Yeah.
You in the worst case scenario with the winning record, and you might take it out this week. Now you're getting all those dudes back next week. Chuba comes back. Hopefully, he's still the lead guy there. He probably is still the lead guy there. Well, I think this is going to be more or less a red shirt season for Jonathan Brooks.
Okay, so he has wide receiver wise, he has A.J. Brown, Pickens, Higgins, Mari Cooper, DJ Moore, Jordan Addison. I would be okay with getting rid of Jordan Addison for Rico Dowdle. I don't know if the guy would take that. You're 8. See, and if you're 8-2, Jacob, I understand fine tuning your roster and upgrading where you can. But I don't think one Rico's that big change that you need. Or even a depth piece that you need.
You are in the GOAT seat.
Yeah.
GOAT seat.
Because Higgins is unreliable. Cooper has been.
Let's not screw. Yeah, no.
He stays healthy.
But I think you just said it best. Like, kind of like tinkering around with the roster, like fine tuning the roster. You know what? I don't want to really mess around with that 8-2 roster. Except for maybe if we need to tweak in and out of tight end, if we need to tweak in and out of defense, I don't want to start screwing around with the depth. Just leave it as is at this point.
Or like I said, offer him Jordan Addison. I'd be okay getting rid of Addison.
Jacob, man.
But I'm not giving up DJ Moore for Rico.
Did you see my 8-2 squad about 15, 20 minutes ago? Zach Ertz is headlining them right now. Who should I trade for Breece Hall? You don't trade Breece Hall.
I need a flex.
So you're going to trade Breece Hall for a flex? My friend?
Isn't Breece Hall? Breece Hall should be your starting running back. I guess I'm confused why you want to trade away Breece Hall.
If you're going to trade away
flex. Or for anything, really. I mean, unless you're trading Breece Hall in a package for Saquon or something, I'm not getting rid of
the Saquon Barkley owner is not going to do that.
Oh, I know. I know.
I know you know that.
I'm just saying.
But how are you moving Breece Hall right now? Is the $1 million question? That is the $1 million question.
That's what we need. We need more info on this, on why you want to get rid of Breece Hall, or there's something we're missing here.
Well, I could tell you maybe. Perhaps I could speculate. Like the questions that came out of the presser the other day regarding Braylon Allen and Breece Hall's usage, and the offensive coordinator was like, like if we're in more advantageous situations, with a more favorable game script, they wouldn't want to take out Breece Hall for Braylon Allen, but. I mean, like, are the Jets going to be in a favorable game script? We really haven't seen that. So I could kind of speculate on that question as to maybe trying to move Breece Hall. But that's.
I mean, I'm guessing the reason they want to move Breece Hall is because he's scored an average of 10 points over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, but the question is, is he going to be in a favorable game script? That's the question.
I mean, I'm guessing the reason they want to move Breece Hall is because he's scored an average of 10 points over the past 3 weeks. That's usually why people want to trade someone is
I
because they've been doing bad the last couple.
I bought Brees Hall low. Okay, so if someone wants to do that and take Brees Hall off your hands, it would have to be it would have to be some sort of solid 2-for-1 or 2-for-2. If I mean, again, it has to be the right type of package. Yes, for sure. Fizzle. Oh, Lucia, my apologies. What's up, Fizzle? Fizzle, go.
Let's just finish this one out quick. So he has Saquon and Kyron. So Brees Hall is your flex. You're starting Saquon and Kyron in your running back spots. If you start 2, which most leagues do, and then Brees Hall is a flex.
That's filthy.
I would love Brees Hall as my flex.
That's filthy.
Yeah.
That's filthy.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, unless someone's offering you, coming along and, they're like, oh, let me give you AJ Brown for Brees Hall or something. Then I would do it, but
it's fucking filthy.
I'm not worried if I have Brees Hall as a flex. All right, Lucius, who do you prefer rest of season, Waddle or Ridley? Full PPR. Love Ridley's playoff schedule.
So disappointed in Jalen Waddle. It looked so good to open up the game. Oh my God. It was like everything that we projected. It was everything that we kind of like foreseen. Like Jalen Waddle was going to get nice targets. He looked great, and then it just went to shit. It went to hell.
Last week was 6.
it went to hell. Tua is not getting you 300 yards and 2-3 touchdowns anymore. He's just not at this point. Nor is the offense constructed and designed to do.
You know why? Want to know why he's not getting that anymore?
I'd love to know.
Tyreek's not being Tyreek this year.
And I'll see that and raise you one. They're also kind of like tailored around Devon A-Chain as well.
Yeah. For sure.
To my benefit as a fantasy manager, but still.
Look at this. The running backs last week, or the last 2 weeks, for example, 18 targets for the running backs. Last 2 weeks, wide receivers, 24. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but the running backs are just as involved in the passing game as the wide receivers are. So the question, though, Waddle or Ridley rest of season?
Hey, this GOAT has already done the homework. He's one of us. As your shepherd, you are supporting my efforts. So if you already know that you love Calvin Ridley's playoff schedule, for you, weeks 15, 16, 17, championship ship, it's Calvin Ridley rest of the season. Does the quarterback attract you that much? It kind of sort of does not attract us. No. Will Levis does not attract us, nor does Mason Rudolph attract us. However, if it's favorable matchups, and we're going to play that matchup game with your wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, or your flex spot, I think Calvin Ridley's shown us more, even in tougher matchups. It's Calvin Ridley here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say Waddle.
Of course, we would love to say Waddle.
And a part of me wonders, too, does Tyreek just kind of shut it down towards the end of the year if this wrist thing is an issue or he's making it an issue or whatever's going on? Is that something that if they're out of the playoffs or something, do they just shut him down and he just gets the surgery early? Or I don't know. It's still in my mind though. But I think as of today, I would have to go with Ridley.
This is what should be in your mind, because it's still in my mind. Watching Tyreek just run his routes and seeing Tyreek's routes and Tua looking this way or looking that way or looking the Johnny way. While Tyreek is right, he was running cardio. He was not a first read. That's what you should be in your mind. If he played with a bad wrist last week, he's going to continue to play with a bad wrist until someone puts a helmet on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Ridley here, unfortunately.
It's Ridley, goat, and Frizzle goat. That's our guy right there.
We're always having a good night when we're on here.
Appreciate you, Frizzle goat. Appreciate you. Week 11, baby. Week 11. We're just getting started. We are just getting started. If you're new to the channel, watching us right now, give us a like, please. Subscribe to us. Plenty of content down the pipe. We are just getting started here in week 11, folks. I'm excited. Are you excited, Josie?
Of course. This is the best time of year.
No, I'm excited for the future. Beyond week 11, beyond week 14. I'm excited to hoist trophies in week 17. Of course I am. I'm excited
to see my bank account grow.
Who doesn't like that?
That's what we're here for.
Who doesn't like that? My God, bank accounts growing. It's new times in this utopian society.
9-1. Thoughts on Bucks D rest of season? They got after the bye: Giants, Carolina, Vegas, Chargers, Dallas, Carolina, and first round bye in the playoffs. I've streamed defenses all season.
Keep doing it.
I mean, the matchups, nothing there scares me at all. So, I mean, if that's your best option, then I mean,
we're gonna keep doing it. That's it. You've been streaming all season. You said it yourself, B-Goat. 9-1. And I've been streaming. Yes, you are the quintessential. You are the prototypical. You are the case example of absolute GOAT fantasy player. You've been doing it. It's working. We're not going to change that. You don't need to go draft the New England Patriots defense in round 13 or the Baltimore Ravens coming off of their season last year in round 12. You wait until the very last round to draft the defense, or you don't even do it. Fuck them.
Well, if you want the better way to do it is if you have defense and kicker, you take your last 3 rounds. In the third to last round, you go whatever order you want, kicker, defense. And then the last round, you hold for a position player because everyone waits until the last round to pick up a kicker or defense. So whoever that best player is will still be there. So you get the better defense, you get the better kicker before the run starts. And then your player that you would have taken is probably still there anyway. But all right, who can I get for Jonathan Taylor? Because I am not certain about him. I'm fine with Jonathan Taylor. I have no concerns about Jonathan Taylor.
It's an interesting question, and I understand exactly. I do. I understand his hesitation, reluctance, his kind of like. Oh, I'm not sure.
He's averaging 16 points a game in PPR. What's there to be questionable about? I mean, okay, with Anthony Richardson, that offense is different than what Flacco was, but we've seen JT with Richardson.
I moved him in Dynasty. Huge haul.
What'd you get back?
I got back 2 firsts and James Cook.
Okay, I could probably justify that. Maybe
I'm teetering around 6 seed. All right, Dak is gone. BA is gone. I tried to do Monty actually. I tried to get Monty off the team and keep JT, but it was obviously it was JT that I wanted. I'm not. I'd rather just mail it in and get in a better position my first round pick, and then now I have 3 of them. It's kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a classic rebuild, but it's kind of sort of like a rebuild.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it took a haul. And I don't mind James Cook either. I know he's not that alpha running back. Yeah, I get it. I get why he's hesitant with JT. It's as long as he stays healthy, which has been a little bit of a question.
Yeah, but yeah, I get that. But
little bit of a question mark. His health. That's it. Let's try to. What could if someone offered you JT, here's JT. What would it be in return? What would it take in return?
What would it take? I mean, I would probably need back at a minimum, and I mean a minimum, an AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, if I'm going wide receiver,
top tier, yeah.
Drake London, DK Metcalf would probably be the absolute bottom, but if the health thing's an issue, that doesn't, DK's had his problems too the last few weeks.
What about a kind of lateral? Because it's kind of sort of like a buy low. It kind of sort of is. What about Kyron? Here, I'll take Kyron. He hasn't. He happened to have not scored the last 2 weeks. Kind of sort of a buy low. We know that he's still the main guy for the Rams. You better get his handcuff at the same time, or pick him up. That I would entertain that. If you really don't want Jonathan Taylor, which there's really no reason not to, as Jones had pointed out, there's nobody behind him except Tyler Goodson. For some damn reason, they seem intent to use him, but not so much in the way that we think. Not that much in the way that we think.
Yeah, I mean the only upside
it would be
to do a lateral move. Or trade him for a wide receiver if you got enough depth or something at running back, would be Jonathan Taylor still has his bye week coming. If you're going to trade him, I would try to trade for someone that's had their bye week already.
What about this one? What about JT for? I'll take David Montgomery, and I'll also take Chase Brown, who also has you're not getting rid of. You're getting 2 number 2s.
Well,
Chase Brown is an RB2 right now.
First of all, anyone that gives up Chase Brown and David Montgomery for JT is an idiot.
I'm just throwing hypothetical options out.
I don't know.
In a 2-for-1, a 2-for-1.
I mean, if you can get that, I would do that, but you're not going to get that.
So in a 1-for-1, it would be JT for Kyrie Williams. If you wanted to try to get 2 pieces out of the deal, you could maybe try to do the David Montgomery, and you could maybe try to do another RB2 off that team. What else? You could maybe try to do the same thing like with James Cook and another RB2 off their team for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Xcode. Let's. What are you thinking? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? And we'll tell you whether we think that could be done or not. Or I would just start presenting. You start offering Jonathan Taylor. Dangle him out, and see what comes back. And then we can go from there.
I am in
us doing these
league, by the way. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
Is that the X-Goats? The X-Multis? Let's take a couple of more, Jonesy, and then of course we're going to be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. It's the Start Sit Show with the Commissioner Rhino, with the Fantasy Dads. This Jonesy Goat will be right back on tomorrow night. And maybe I pop up. Who knows? I probably pop up.
FPPR trade Chase Brown, Debo, Downs for Brees Hall and Cooper Kupp. I think I'm doing it. It's a little more risk. It's not even. I can't even say it's more risky because
I think Debo's
has his problems too with health. Because to me, with Richardson back, Downs is. I'm back to my.
He's losing. He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose Chase Brown and Downs within the next.
I'm okay losing Downs with Anthony Richardson behind center.
No. I'm talking lose him for buys. That's what I'm talking about. You're getting Brees.
You're getting Brees Hall and Kupp, who both had their buys.
No, didn't Brees
and
Hall,
Chase Brown's on bye next week in week 12, and Debo's had his. Downs is 14.
No,
or 13.
I think Brees Hall. I don't think they're on bye.
Oh wait, yeah, Brees Hall's 12. Brees Hall's 12. My bad.
Yeah, I thought we were actually going to get away with one here.
Yeah, me too.
No, we're not.
I don't know why I was thinking they were week 5.
I thought maybe yeah. But still, let's take the buys out of the equation. I think I would do that deal.
Yeah,
anyway,
I would. Who should I start? Darnell Mooney or Nick Chad?
Let's start Nick Chad. Nick Chubb against the Saints.
Oh, Nick Chubb. I'm like, who's Nick Chad? Did I miss something last week?
It's.
If I read the next comment that he wrote,
that's all right. That's all right. Let's go with Nick Chubb against the Saints. I think we're in for a nice game out of Nicholas Chubb. Look, we like Darnell Mooney. He's a nice story this season. He's a wide receiver 2 this season. He's been really good, and he's going to be drafted a hell of a lot higher next season than he was this year. We can promise you that. So again, you're talking about the wide receiver 2 on his team in Denver versus Nick Chubb, focal point running back, Browns in the dome. I think it's a Nick Chubb game.
I don't know if I can. I think I'm still Mooney. I just think Winston's going to want to chuck it all over the place. He's going to want to.
Right? So
I'm not saying Nick Chubb can't have a good game.
He'll chuck it all over the place. Jerry Jeudy will trip over himself down at the 5-yard line, and that's where Nick Chubb goes in. You tell me you can't see that?
No, I could see it, but I turn on
or Cedric the Entertainer. Down at the 1.
Okay, let me put it this way: Nick Chubb's your floor, Darnell Mooney's your ceiling. If you want safe points, you go Nick Chubb. If you want to shoot for the moon, you go Darnell Mooney.
It's the other way around. Not so much. Yeah. WT, Quincy go. Quincy go, man.
Would you drop Knox for Brock, Sam, Laporta? He is Brock Bowers?
No. The back, the tight end 2 for the Lions. No.
Oh! I was thinking Brock Bowers.
It's that guy. We can't. We don't even know his real name. His full name. He's not a fantasy guy. No. It's not that. If the position wasn't
Brock Wright.
Yeah, right. That guy. If the position wasn't already enough volatile, it gets even to another level with that guy. Brock Wright.
I'm going.
Stick with what you got, Quincy. Go. We're not chasing Scanlon. Although he was a waiver claim that we recommended this past Tuesday on the waiver show. Every Tuesday, folks, 8:00. But if you already have Pop Douglas, might as well stick with Pop Douglas. You gonna go chase with MVS? I mean, think he's gonna score 2 touchdowns again? You've seen enough
No.
MVS in your
Yeah.
life.
No, and like I said earlier, I don't trust that he will go off. I mean, I understand why people picked him up. There aren't many options there. Pop Douglas doesn't really excite me though.
Let's go with one more. I'm gonna go Pop here, Justin Goat. I'm gonna go Pop. I know MVS was a nice story. I don't think we're gonna see the same. We're not gonna see the same production on MVS. I'm sorry. The Saints still have other options. I know they're not fantastic options, but they still have Alvin Kamara, which is a very good option. They still have Jawan Johnson as a tight end. They still have Taysom Hill as a Swiss Army knife.
And Taysom Hill last week, I thought I heard he got a big touchdown called back too.
They have other options. It was nice that MVS had that game. It was. WT, let's close us out, Goat.
Traded Calvin Ridley for Jordan Love.
Interesting.
QB Darnold, Drake May, Collins, Cup, Tillman, Amar. No, I like it. You're good. Nico's coming back. Cup's every week starter. Tillman's an every week starter now, and Amari Cooper is on his way to. I think you did good there, upgrading your quarterback there. Tyson or Paul? I'm going Tyson. Hopefully, I mean it should be on. Is it over already, or is it started?
Is it over already? It was over before it started. How about that?
Pretty loaded with wide receivers in a 2 flex half PPR league. Jefferson, Cup, Higgins, Tillman, Sutton, Coleman. Got offered Bowers for Sutton. I would want to get Bowers over having Henry and Ferguson. Jefferson, Cup, Tillman are every week starters. Higgins is an every week starter when he's healthy. I mean, I'd rather try to get rid of Coleman and like one of your tight ends maybe for Bowers, but I don't think they would take that. But I'm okay with it.
You're actually besides like your starters, your best asset is Cortland Sutton right now.
Yeah, I'm okay with it to make the upgrade just because Jefferson had his bye, Cup had his bye, Tillman, they just had their bye, right? Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Higgins still has his bye week 12, but
Cortland Sutton is the sell high off this team.
Yeah, I think you're okay with doing that.
That's a good move, man. That's a good move, Goat. Arturo Goat, no.
Trade JJ for Jamar.
Not me.
I mean, it's kind of a lateral move, and JJ's had his bye week already, so I'm probably not doing it just for that reason. Last one. Texas D versus Dallas or San Francisco versus Seattle.
Look, I know we were singing or attempting to sing the praises. We're trying to speak the praises, I should say, into existence for Cooper Rush and the 2022 sample that was positive for this upcoming Sunday. As much as we'd like to see a nice turnaround, it's not that likely. Okay, like it might get a little bit better, but it's not that likely. I would play the Texans defense in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I
would go Texans too.
Again, that Seahawks-Niners game is one of the higher implied totals on the board. I mean, like the Seahawks are going to score and vice versa. It's just a matter it'd be nice to see that it's Kenny Skywalker and DK and JSN. We'd like all of our guys. When I say our guys, I mean fantasy guys to be fantasy relevant, not Tyler Lockett. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of Tyler Locketts tomorrow. I have a feeling.
Yep. All right, guys. That about wraps it up for tonight. We will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the man making the goat noises might show up tomorrow night. Otherwise, I will be there. Rhino will be there. Fantasy Dad Trent will be there. We'll all be here again to answer any more questions you guys have. Please please subscribe. That tells us you guys like what we're doing here, and we appreciate it. Other than that, any closing remarks?
Great show. Great time. I enjoyed this very much. Talking football, talking fantasy, building a community of and gathering of goats and playing this fantastic game. What else could I be asking for other than a Tyson fight? No, I'm just joking. It's a great time to be great. So let's continue on. Great stuff. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
Deuces.